I'm Daemonxel, and this is your Eve Echoes Community News Update. I know this video is a little bit late, and we're going to get into that, but first, as always, if you can tag that subscribe button, ring that bell, share and like the video, then of course, you can stay up to date with everything we do here at the channel. So yes, I am sorry that this video has been delayed, but as I stated in the last video, I did start my new job, and let me just let you know, I'm loving it, I'm enjoying it. I've been at that new position for 2 weeks, and I'm starting to get get everything down, get everything going. But I still have not hit my rhythm as to when I can do recordings for the game and put the news out there. So until I am moved to the other shift, because I will be going on nights, and when I do go on nights, I will be able to put out consistently videos each week. But until then, what I am probably going to do is just do a few videos each week between 5 and 10 minutes of what's going on, and we'll just do a separate video on the weekend of the big kills and everything else. And who knows, people may actually like that format a lot better than these big videos. And yes, unfortunately, this is going to be one of those bigger videos because there is a lot that happened, because I haven't put out a video since the 17th. But the biggest news of all is that the war between No and Void, and I know it's a lot more involved between No and Void, that war has actually now officially come to an end, culminating in the last fight in the battle of RERZ-L. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this fight, and I'm going to cover exactly what's going on from this point on, and then we're going to do a quick review of everything that happened in this fight, in this war itself, as far as stats go. But I guess before we can actually get into this fight, we have to acknowledge the fact that Brethren Court and No kind of came together in this fight and lovingly been called BRNO. And if you hadn't seen it last week, there is a fantastic propaganda video that's on Reddit. I'll put a link in the description below, and if you are an Enchanted fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, that's not to say that Brethren Court or No, and let's just basically move forward and say BRNO, that BRNO itself was just beating up Void, because Void is part of that pack server, so they did get help from OG and everyone that belonging to that pack coalition. Anyway, the fight at RERZ-L was 111 battleships, 70 battle cruisers, 6 cruisers, 2 Dictors, and 1 frigate on the BRNO side. And on the pack side, you had 233 battleships, 114 battle cruisers, 17 cruisers, 32 frigates, and 5 destroyers, presumably Dictors. So that is 190 on the BRNO side versus 401 on the pack side. Now, as you can see in the video itself, it is just a big ball of death going on in those Hector bubbles, along with the Dictor bubbles along, and you had both brawling fleets running in and out of each other, with of course the sniper support hanging back and circling around. Now, for the most part, the BRNO coalition was holding their own, but the numbers were just too great on the pack side, and the BRNO numbers started dwindling down. Now, another thing to note about the fight is that both parties agreed to do a sub-cap fight, so there were no caps involved in this fight. Now, when the BRNO side dropped down to about 160 to 150 ships left, the pack side only went down slightly, bringing their total down to around 350. And as soon as they released the drone swarm, that BRNO number did drop down to about 110, with the pack numbers slightly only going down after that. At a point in the fight right now, it's at about 100 players on the BRNO side, and still on the pack side 325 strong. Now, pack did win the grid, never dipping below 300 on their side, but as soon as the BRNO numbers did dwindle to around the 90s, slightly to the 80s, they did retreat and give the grid to pack. So this was a great battle to end the war on a high note for Void and to keep the morale at that level. During this war, there was a great deal of mutual respect between all sides. And now with the war over, BRNO is now blue to the Pact side to prevent any more losses. And, as a note, Captain Benzi will be sending his hat to Tahini. So the Crown of Power, which was once given to Genesis, has now moved back home to Catskill and now given again out to No. Now, as for the stats, moving past the war, Rep did make an address stating that they did kill over 3.2 trillion ISK and had stolen, or basically intosed, over 20 citadels from the start of the war until this point. He goes on to say that after factoring in insurance and rounding up a few billion, still ignoring the different insurance on capitals, this is roughly equivalent to 1 trillion ISK in true damage, which is equal roughly to 333,000 plex, or just over $12,100 US. Now, that's not to say that Pact hadn't been putting in the work as well. Pact themselves have killed about 5 of BRNO's carriers during this war. So they were giving just as good as they were getting. Now, unfortunately, I do not have the plans of what's going to happen to those intosted citadels that BRNO did take over, whether they're going to keep them or hand them back, strip them down to level 1s and blow them up. I don't know at this point. We will keep an eye, and I will try to reach out to Rep, Tahini, and everyone else in leadership over at No, as well as Meliodas from Brethren Court, to see exactly what the plan moving forward is post-war. Also, we don't know after this war if the BRNO coalition will be breaking up as well, taking on separate contracts, or will they come together again for another war at some other region. Now, this war itself has had many ups and downs and a bunch of different highlights. Now, one I'd like to show is, because we all know Mattyhuh, and we all know, hey, he is a little bit that of a crazy pilot. So what he did last week, a little over last week, was that he took his cap, his Nag Dread, and went to go shoot the shield off the Citadel in Q7 Tech FC8. Now, while he was doing this, the Beehive was kicked over and about 23 ships came out and locked him down while he still sat there and took on this fleet as well as the Citadel. And as you can surmise, more and more ships came to the tackled capital wanting to get him down. And alarm bells were rung through the BRNO Coalition server, stating that Matty was tackled and that he did need some help. And as the BRNO pilots would soon find out, the rescue attempt did not go as planned. I'm told due to a missed Dictor bubble, all 4 carriers that came in to assist actually landed 0 on the grid on the Citadel, which put them directly in the middle of the fighting. Now, the 4 carriers that initially landed on grid did not last long enough for the rest of that fleet to arrive via Sino. Now, I'm not going to spoil the video for you. I do suggest you go over to Matty's channel and check it out. I'll put a link in the description below. But those of you who are wondering, yes, in the end, Matty did get away with his Naglfar unscathed. And what started off as just trying to strip some shields to a system that didn't have a lot of players did boil over to a massive fight featuring over 300 pilots. Now, also during this war, some accusations were being made that possibly Silent, through their Merc arm, was adding to the war effort against Void, and that they had, in some kind of shadowy side, helped during this war. In fact, a mate Cap pilot was spotted going through N-Rail with a No fleet. Now, this can be explained very easily. I am told that Mate is like the Foreign Legion, where you can belong to other places on your main and use your alt within this corporation, in this Merc outfit, to go cause havoc. And the pilot in question that was spotted was Mattyhuh on one of his alts. And yes, he is a main no pilot, but he does have characters in other entities throughout New Eden. So those claims of Silent lending a hand in the BRNO versus Pact War has been refuted. Now, another thing that has happened during this war is that the Citadel that the Catskill Academy resides in was in Tosis, thusly locking Captain Benzie out from his ship collection. So unfortunately, that did prevent Benzie from making some new content along the way. And I know some of you are out there like, well, why doesn't he just go to the other test server, the one that the content creators have access to? Well, the reason for that being is that sometimes we are not given the up-to-date codes for things, and I do believe Benzie wanted to try out some implants fused with his Hound 3, but unfortunately the Fulmination server, which is the content creator test server, is usually mostly down, and when we ask for it to get put back up, it basically falls upon deaf ears, just like every other thing we suggest and ask from the devs. So what is a captain of Benzie's stature to do during this lockout phase? Well, that's easy. Make a ton of memes and put them across Reddit because of the surprise update that we got from NetEase. Now, I'm not going to go too much into the update, what came with it. That's for another video if I do that video. But just suffice to say, we are now getting jump carriers, which they told us that they were never bringing into the game. And we got the Force Auxiliary Capital ships. That's the logistics ships for capitals, also going to be coming into the game as well. That alongside broken anomalies and a bunch of other bugs that still plague the game. Suffice it to say, with this new update, players are pissed. But now with the end of the war, Benzie will have access back to his ships, only days after pleading with BRNO to allow him access into that Citadel to get his ships. So look forward to some great videos coming out in the next couple days from Benzie. Now, those of you running the Auxilius parsing bot, unfortunately, we've heard from PM Blue that he is no longer supporting this app. I believe he has moved on from Eve Echoes, so there will be no more updates to this app. If it does break, there will be no fixes for it. So I believe the community in general will be in the market for another coder or whatever to build another kill board. What that also means is do not rely on this app to send me your kills. Do send them to me personally through Discord so that I can update the kill board each week on the show so we can see the biggest kills and the solo kills. Those that have seen the last episode of mine will also know the story about the two Reddits and how Sandman was banned from r/Echoes. Well, in a surprising turn of events, they ended up unbanning him after another mod apparently reviewed the situation further. Sandman states to me that other than a vague statement about laying off witch hunting related to the GoFundMe post that was banned, which he states that he hasn't been commenting on, so he's not sure why it was even referenced, and a general statement about wild conspiracy theories, it seems like they have lifted his permanent ban after only 24 hours. He believes that this is definitely the right course of action for them to take because he didn't think Leviathan had any good justification for banning him. If anything, he thinks that further proves his concerns related to Leviathan abusing his power on the Reddit to censor people. Sandman does want to put out his appreciation for the mods on r/Echoes that did look into his comment history further and found that Leviathan's permanent ban was not justified, but it never should have gotten to that point in his opinion. He goes on to state that his worry is that there are many other members of the community like himself who were also unjustifiably banned, but don't always have someone willing to or able to take the time to confirm it or if it's justified itself. Even his appeal was denied multiple times with no reason being provided until someone took a third look. After telling him not to contact them anymore, they found out that he really hadn't done anything to justify his ban. One direct quote from Sandman states that, "My worry is that if the only action taken is unbanning me, then there's a great start, but that's like giving an aspirin to someone with a brain tumor. It may temporarily help alleviate the symptoms, but it's not addressing the root cause of the problem." Moving away, let's look at something else that is currently going on in the game, and that is the new Inscription of the Galaxy on Dormant realm runs. And due to this, a new service is born. That's right, the Dormant Carry Services. Now, I'm going to put a link, expiring link in the description below for you guys. But this service in this Discord is offering Dormant runs to get the basic focused crystal. Now, if you're wondering what these are, this is that crystal implant that was sold by NetEase for 4 billion ISK, but they're no longer available anywhere in game for sale. The only way to get them is to run the Dormant yourself. Now, if you do sign up for their services, first of all, go to their Discord, talk to them. I don't have any pricing for you. That's going to be through their side, but go over to their Discord, check it out. Each run will give you 1 basic focus crystal, 7 times completion reward boxes, and 1 premium box, which may also include another implant or just general units for upgrades. Remember, industry comes in many different forms, and content in this game is what you make of it. So if you are interested in doing a Dormant run to get your focus crystal and you don't have a group, go ahead, follow the link, and get your carry today. Now, I would also like to spotlight another Discord server, which actually has nothing to do with Eve Echoes, but it does have Eve Echoes players involved throughout. Now, if you enjoy Dungeons & Dragons, like tabletop play, well, this Discord is for you. It's called Dungeons & Dash, and it is set up by Mr. Dash from RERZ-L, and originally it was just an internal RERZ-L thing, but it's blown up. For busy adults who can't really spend a couple hours here or a couple hours there playing actual D&D each week, it's set up through a Discord so that you can run campaigns via the Avery bot through D&D, as well as the Dungeons & Dragons Beyond app. And it's for busy professionals who, like I said, can't just sit down and run, a couple hours at a time. Now, that's not saying that it's not welcome. I'm sure the people on the server would welcome a DM joining up and doing via comms and a channel running maybe a 3-hour campaign each week. But the server and services are available there for players and dungeon masters alike looking to reacquaint themselves with the game, or just to play and have some fun outside of the game. I'm a part of it. I love D&T. I haven't been able to do it in a while. I will actually be running my own campaign through this Discord probably in the next month or so, once I learn all the ins and outs of the bot itself. But I am an avid player of this as well as Eve Echoes. But every so and though, like on between lunch break or so, I'll check in and see, oh, I can type a message, I can forward this story along, or I can do a little combat. But it's a great way for busy people to play D&D again. This week on What the Fit, when you think of Eve Echoes memes or Eve Online memes, you can always count on the one, "Can I bring my Drake?" as one of the base ones. However, I don't think this is what they meant, especially with its small and medium missiles and its medium autocannons. Next, this rattlesnake totes its usual missiles. However, the pilot did trade in 2 of those for favor of a large autocannon and a medium strike. This Raven Striker totes all sorts of different missiles. That's right, we have 3 MK9 torpedoes, 1 MK9 small torpedo, 2 medium rapids, as well as 1 large autocannon. So just a plethora of offensive decisions here. So you know what to do. When you kill something and that kill mail makes you kind of scratch your head and wonder what's going on, or if it's just a bizarre fit that seemingly works, send it on in and we'll feature it. And we're going to move right into the big kills of the week. Exodus starts us off with 3 Balgorn kills, one at 8.8, one at 8.9, and one at 9.1 billion. Gao gives us a Balgorn worth 12.9 billion. Nomadic Nightmares comes in with a 10.7 billion Vindicator kill. The Six Seal Alliance gives us a Balgorn worth 10.2 billion, as well as an APOC Striker worth 7.8. Yes gives us 2 Vindicators, one at 6.4 billion, one at 8.2. They also give us a Typhoon 2 kill at 8.2 billion. No gives us a Vindicator worth 8.8 billion, a Rattlesnake worth 7 billion, a Providence Freighter worth 17.7 billion, and a Macario worth 9 billion. White Sky comes in with a Barghest kill of 18.5 billion, a Vindicator worth 5.6 billion, and a Balgorn worth 7.3. AAA Ad Astra gives us a Rattlesnake worth 6.3 billion, 3 Balgorns, 6.9, 6.4, and 6.6 billion, and a 5.6 billion Orthrus kill. Serenity from the Providence area gives us two Balgorn kills, one at 5.4 and the other at 7.2. Spy, that's the Spanish Inquisition from the Flying Circus, gives us a Nereus 2 kill worth 6.7 billion. BRNO gives us a Macario worth 6.4 billion, also a Vindicator worth 9.6 billion. Now, of course, these are all aside from the actual battle kills that they've got. These are just ones that have been submitted to me. Boop comes in with 3 Balgorn kills, one at 8.8, one at 9.8, and one at 10 billion. Loco gives us a Badger 2 kill worth 12.6 billion. The Brethren Court gives us a Balgorn kill worth 8.6 billion. Also a Rattlesnake, 2 Rattlesnake kills, one at 5.4, the other at 6.3. And that's going to move us into the cap kills of the week. The Bro Coalition, or Bruno, gives us 7 Nidhogger kills, one at 33.9, another at 35.4, 35.5, 33.9, 34.9, 34.2, and lastly 56.2 billion. They also got themselves a 54.8 billion Revelation kill and a 37.2 billion Thanatos kill. Exodus gives us a Nidhogger kill worth 34.8 billion. Red Scorpions gives us a Thanatos worth 37.4 billion. Serenity from Providence gives us a Archon kill worth 73 billion. That's a very high Archon. As well as 2 Revelation kills, one at 58 billion, the other at 58.4. And also Loco finishes us out with a Naglfar kill at 37.5 billion. And now we move into everyone's favorite part, that is the chance to win a free Omega combo. And that's going to be through the solo kills of the week. Remember, there can only be 1 participant on the kill mail, and that includes NPC rats. We broke this down into 2 categories, the industrial and the PvP. Starting us off in the industrial, remember, we give the top 10 of each if I have them. In the industrial, Black Diamond gives us a Coveter 2 kill worth 1.583 billion. Broken Pig gives us a 2 billion Badger 2. Admiral Berger gives us a 2.3 billion Sigil. Gorilla Glue comes in with a 3.4 billion Sigil 2 kill. The Liquor Bandit gives us a 4 billion Orca kill. Fufu 12 gives us a 4.2 billion Outpost kill. Heck 28 gives us a 4.4 billion Outpost kill. And coming in first this week in the industrial category for an Omega combo is Harlan Lee with a 9.3 billion Sigil 2 kill. Moving right into the top 10 PvP kills of the week, we have Shoot the Moon with a 2.464 billion Dominix 2 kill. This is in Cyrillic, so don't kill me. It looks like a 16 NT. Don't shoot. But it's a 2.466 billion Phantasm kill. Wild Nigel gives us a 2.923 billion Stratios kill. Arkan Residia gives us a 2.985 billion APOC Striker kill. Sorry, brain shot right there. Airbus A380-800s gives us an amazing full B-type CNI worth $3.8 billion. I mean, seriously, why would you B-type a CNI? I'm sorry for you who lost your ship, but no. Saul Goodman gives us a $4.1 billion Macario kill. Dust gives us a $4.2 billion Orthrus kill. Badran gives us a $5.1 billion Balgorn kill. Surprised Emoji Face gives us a $5.4 billion Dominix 2 kill. And the winner this week of a free Omega combo is the channel's friend, not Mattyhuh, with a $10.7 billion Probe Explorer kill. And I believe this was done in his carrier or Drake, because I'm not really looking at the kill mail itself, just looking at my notes. But congratulations to Matty, as well as Harlan Lee, for winning the contest. Get with me on Discord via DM, and I'll tell you how we can get that prize out to you. So, again, thank you for coming. This is the end of the show. However, if you do need more news in your life, I'm going to be coming out with shorter videos during the week until I get my work schedule in order. But also, there is Sky News, which is Russia's premier Eve Echoes outlet news. It is in Russian, don't worry. All the videos have English subtitles. You're covered. There's also the legendary Echoes of New Eden podcast on Rambo's Discord. It's also found on Spotify and any other platform you could listen to a podcast. Also, they have their YouTube channel, which also has full episodes, as well as helpful short videos from Taylor Rick, his co-host. Now remember, if you do want to be part of their audience, you do have to be in their Discord every Thursday around the time that they record the show, and that's usually, I believe, 8 MST time. So yeah, there you go. And also, every Sunday there is the Eve Echoes radio show, where everyone from New Eden comes, listens to some great music, discusses features in the game, and also has some great interviews. So, for me, to all of you, have a great week, have a great weekend, fly safe, and remember, we're always one vision, one purpose, one front.